Okay, guys, y'all ready to get started? Okay, good to go. All right, thank you. Pretty quick turnaround for South Carolina. Even though we've played them before, it was 16 games ago, so a lot has changed. Both teams, they've won 5 out of the last 6 SEC games. So right now they're one of the hottest teams in our league. They're 4-4 currently on the road. So it's a team that's traveled. They've got some older guys. We played very well in Columbia earlier in the season. Our defense in particular was outstanding. We forced them into 20 turnovers, which is very unusual. And so, that'll be hard to score as many points as we did off their turnovers as we did the last time. Our half-court offense continues to be, a challenging. I think a lot of that just has to do with the fact that at this point, the scouting reports are out. And, I think everybody's struggling a little bit in their half-court offense. South Carolina's guards are hard to guard. We played them the first time. They were going inside a little bit more to their post players. And now their perimeter players are scoring more. So it'll be a real challenge for our guards to defend their guards. Obviously really, really pleased with the outcome on Wednesday, to win on the road at Mississippi State. The only team that Mississippi State has lost to this year in the SEC at home was Tennessee. Their scoring margin was +5. They really play well at home. And obviously it was a huge game for both teams. They're playing to get, back onto the bubble, and we were playing to try to, win the regular season championship. Now, obviously we're playing for 2 things now. We're playing for the number 1 seed, and we're playing to win this championship by ourselves. So obviously a lot to play for against a team that's playing very well right now. And obviously, trying to do the best we can to seed ourselves 1 in the SEC tournament, and then to try to get a 1 seed in the NCAA tournament, if that's something we can continue to play well and win some more games. Questions?
Coach, we're going to start you the question today from Justin Ferguson.
Bruce, we saw Walker with the thing on his shoulder last night. Played throughout the game, but just how was he feeling through the game? How maybe is he feeling today, and is that going to be something moving forward that you have to worry about?
Yeah, he got clipped pretty good in the Tennessee game. He got fouled. It was a common foul called on the play. He actually got hit twice, and it was chippy at best. And so he did suffer an injury to his shoulder, but he has got the brace on it, and he's working through it.
Tom Green.
Hey, Bruce, you kind of talked a little bit about that 3-guard lineup late in the game last night, but how much did you guys kind of work on that in recent weeks at all? Is that something that you kind of just experimented with? And can we expect to see it a little bit more moving forward?
Well, when you lose a 19-point lead, I guess as a coach, you do start, throwing stuff up into the wind and see what sails, and so or what floats. I just felt like we needed to shake some things up, and it wound up working out pretty well. Just putting, we had turned the ball over too much in the second half, And so putting our three best ball handlers in the game together with our two bigs, I thought allowed us to maybe cut down on some turnovers and get a little bit more speed and quickness into the game. It's when you've got the starting five that we have, and then to put Wendell in the game at the end, because Wendell's been our closing point guard, and to take Zepp out, that's hard to do, because Zepp hasn't closed a lot of games for us this year. It's close games, and yet he's our starting point guard. And what is Zepp going to do? He's going to defend. He's not going to turn it over. He's going to make an open shot. I trust him. And so that's a good thing to have at the end of the game.
Go to Ben and Durando.
Bruce, I know you guys are focused on getting one more win and getting that one seed in the conference tournament, but is there any plan to acknowledge or celebrate the SEC title in front of the home fans on Saturday?
I don't know. I really, it's funny, Bennett. I don't know the specifics. I'm sure there is. But honestly, I've been on South Carolina so hard that I can't even tell you. But I'm sure there'll be something.
Bennett, just to chime in, we are planning it, and I will send out a media advisory how that will all work on Saturday.
Thanks.
All right, Mark Murphy.
Yeah, Bruce, could you talk about Jalen? He has not been scoring real consistently lately, and the same thing with Allen. And those are your top two returning scorers from last year. How important is it to get those guys playing better?
Well, Jalen just doesn't have as much opportunity because he's playing behind Jabari. And Jabari, obviously, the last 3 weeks has been dominant. And so it's really nothing. Jalen played well against Mississippi State. He had a couple of really good runs in there. Now, last year, we played South Carolina earlier in the year. Jalen had 18 because Jabari had picked up 2 fouls in the first 7 minutes of the game. And Jalen played a lot and really helped us win the game. And so the issue with Jalen is not it's just not getting opportunities. He's playing behind the best player on the floor every night. Jabari Smith's the best player on the floor, and he's playing behind him. So, and then next year Jalen Williams could be the best player on the floor for us. Al is still, obviously not 100% from recovering from his injury, and but our bench is important. And obviously, I think as we're getting down the stretch, one thing I was pleased, we made 10 threes on the road and shot it a little better. If we could continue to defend, rebound, improve our rebounding, which is a concern, but defend and rebound, and then start making shots a little bit from then I think that'll help us with our half court offense.
Go to Doug Holton next. You're on mute, Doug.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Okay, sorry about that. I had the space bar down, but I was going to ask about Walker. I don't know if you can elaborate any more on that, on his injury, exactly it is. And also I was going to ask on the tiebreaker situation, can you confirm exactly what those are? 2-way tie or 3-way tie?
Boy, I honestly couldn't tell you. And first, I'm not going to comment more on anything on Walker's injury. You got you got probably more than most coaches would give you. I don't know all the tie-breaking scenarios. I apologize. I don't. I just know if we win, we win. And I know if we don't win, I think we most likely are the 2 seed. I'm not exactly certain.
Doug, I was going to send you the press release from the conference office. I'm not sure if you're on those SEC, but he has those every week when he does the standings and stats.
I guess it kind of shows you what I've been working on this morning. I'm not working on a celebration and I'm not working on scenarios. So I'm working on trying to figure out how to guard South Carolina.
We'll go to Steve Moulton next.
Coach, certainly appreciate the time here today. Through 30 games, you tell me, Coach, has this been an easy team to coach, a hard team to coach, and what is the challenges moving forward?
Yeah, this has been a great team to coach. It's a real competitive group and a group that gets along really well. They've been locked in. You know, we had to work this group so hard so early to get them good. Because of the tough schedule going to the Bahamas and so many new pieces that it's been a very obviously rewarding year having won this regular season, but it's come at a pretty high cost from a standpoint of, again, guys have been really locked and loaded. What's the upside? The upside is, can we get to rebounding better? Can we get to shooting the ball a little bit better? Can we stay healthy? And can we get a little bit more from everybody? One of the things that I looked at yesterday was the fact that everybody scored and everybody got at least a rebound, and everybody contributed yesterday. We played 9 guys and all 9 of them had pretty positive contributions overall. That said, add that all up and and we barely got out of there with an overtime win. So that's what it takes. I guess that's what it takes to win on the road against good teams in our league. Again, South Carolina was 7-1. Excuse me. Mississippi State was 7-1 at home, with the only loss being, and they'd beaten Alabama and they'd beaten Arkansas already at home, and they took Kentucky to overtime at Rupp. So they're a good team.
New bias, Wilborn.
Hey, Bruce, I hope you're having a good day today, man.
Been a great day so far, Tobias.
Oh, it's a good day to be alive, brother. Tell me about Chase and Preston, what they meant to your program, and how fun it'll be to honor them on Saturday.
Well, Preston was a local boy made good. He's been there and been a key player for us in practice every day. He's always been on that scout team. As you know, from coming to watch practice, that scout team is really important to help us get prepared. So Preston's had a lot to do with our culture and our preparedness. And he was probably he would probably play a lot if he was at a mid-major Division I program. But instead he decided to stay home, and we're really glad that he did. And we awarded him this year with a scholarship. So it was pretty significant. I think the Chase is our spiritual leader. Chase is an old soul. He's engaged to be married as a senior in college. He is a great student. He's already begun his own business, and while he was in school, and he's a student minister. He leads us in Bible study, and just a wonderful young man. Both of these guys are great young men and great families, and it'll be very special to honor them along with 5 team managers on Saturday.
Go to Noah Griffith.
Hey, Coach. I know you said you're not really worried about the seeding, but in your last regular season game, you plugged up the share of the SEC title. So is that going to affect how many minutes you play your starters, or are you just focused on winning the game at all costs?
Oh, it'll be a win this game at all costs. I mean, we're not holding back at all. I mean, it's seeding matters. It does matter. the NCAA tournament seeding matters. The SEC tournament seeding matters. This game has a lot to go with it. Now, you know, Coach Martin comes in with a team that's 18-11, 9-8 in the SEC. They're probably a signature win like Auburn and a couple of wins a win or two in the SEC tournament away from playing their way in. So this is a huge game. You know, we're going to have to play well. South Carolina, again, they've won 4 road games in the league. They won 5 out of the last 6. They're playing really well. And the team that we, you know, were tied with at the end of regulation, they had a pretty comfortable margin against Mississippi State about a week ago. So that's a good barometer.
We got time for 2 quick follows. First is Mark Murphy.
Yeah, Bruce, last night at the end of regulation, what type of shot were you guys trying to get? And is that an area you guys need to improve on moving forward?
Yeah, it probably is. It probably is. So when you if Jabari was the point guard, it'd be a lot easier to get the ball to him for the last shot. But when your best player is not your point guard, sometimes it can be challenging them to get the last shot. We do a pretty good job of getting it to him, but sometimes it can be difficult to get it to him for the last shot. And I'm not even exactly sure what exactly. I remember what we ran. I don't even remember exactly the outcome, but it wasn't very good. So
you took a shot, long 3-pointer in front of your bench, sort of off balance there.
Yeah, another one of those, huh? Right, we've had a couple of those, haven't we?
True.
We're going to finish up with Bennett Durando.
Yeah, Bruce, Wendell sort of went through the ringer last night, pretty physical game, made the shooting hard, but what does it sort of add when that's not going well for him? He gets 5 steals. I think he had 2 that he turned into assists in overtime and just sort of finds other ways to be productive.
He's a great competitor, just a great competitor, and I trust him. And, you know, he obviously physically is undersized in this game and in our league. You know, but there've been a lot of, there've been a lot of games where, you know, putting the ball in his hands has been a good thing. There've been a couple of obviously last possession, you know, games where he's obviously got it. And, you know, he's either got to make a play or get somebody open. And we've not done a great job, you know, with that last possession, as Mark pointed out. So, yeah, he got a little banged up, and he got a little banged up actually earlier this week in practice. So I'm sure today will be it's going to have to be a pretty heavy day of rest for us. Yet tomorrow we can't do a ton tomorrow because we have such an early tip on Saturday, and South Carolina played Tuesday at home. So there's a real advantage heading into this game regarding us playing the last game of the night on a Wednesday night, and then playing that game on Tuesday and being home. And then we got some guys with some a little banged up a little bit, but we got a lot to play for on Saturday.
All right, Coach, we appreciate it.
All right, thank you.